Hey, what's the story? Yours truly, Philbo here. Hope you're keeping well, and thanks a million for stopping by to the channel. It is always very much appreciated. And if you're new, thanks a million for fucking stopping by, and welcome to Philbo's. I fucking had the crack last night in 3arena, having the fucking balls out, fun with all you crazy motherfuckers in the 3arena. Let me start this review by telling you something for nothing. The Limp Bizkit fans of this fucking country are fucking super cool, man. Super nice, super friendly, super down to earth. Tons of youngsters as well. Added little short fries there with their older brothers or their dads or their moms and dads. Super cool. Absolutely great to see. Great crowd. Great atmosphere. Just a super cool, mellow atmosphere amongst the crowd. So that is my first thought of the Limp Bizkit Loserville tour, which stopped by in Dublin last night, March 11th. And let me tell you something, Limp Bizkit had big shoes to fill, because I wasn't at their Belfast gig last year, the Belsonic gig, but I heard that it was unbelievable. And I saw tons of footage on YouTube from that gig, and to be honest, it looked absolutely class. So people were very excited for this return, and Limp Bizkit brings the Loserville tour with a bunch of support acts. We've Riff Raff, Karen Dio, we've Nothing Face, spelt with an 8, I know, yeah. We've Eka Vandal, we've Bones, and then in the headline slot we have, of course, Limp Bizkit. So I was lucky enough to attend this show last night. Big shout out and massive thanks and respect to my brother Jer. He couldn't make it last second, and he called on yours truly to step in his place. So love your brother. Thank you very much. An absolutely great surprise, and very much needed and very much appreciated with the day that was in it. But we made our way into town straight after work and got ourselves in right at the very beginning. So, without further ado, let's get into Philbo's review of Limp Bizkit's Loserville tour at the 3arena. So first off, we had Riff Raff, right? Now, Riff Raff, let me paint a picture for you, right? You know the grill, the silver teeth that happens with a lot of these Xanax rappers, you know what I mean? Pardon the bluntness of the expression, but the mumble rappers, yeah, the mumble rappers, you know, Little Peep, rest in peace, young lad, 21, who was starting this, and another fella, he died as well. Both two of the main pioneers of this subgenre of Xanax loving fucking youngsters. Anyway, this guy Riff Raff is in that category, with tracks like Everybody Hates Me, I Want a Ferrari, Stripper Pole. You know what? Without getting too much into it or spending too much time on it, Riff Raff, not for me. And from the looks of things, not for most people around me. So unfortunately, Riff Raff, absolutely stinker. So yeah, moving on. Less time talking about him, the better. Karen Dio, very cool. Very fun, very upbeat, great voice, very short sets from everybody. I think everybody played only 25-30 minutes, if that. Some of them felt like they were only on and off, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. But Karen Dio, things beginning to improve. And then, unfortunately, we take another dip with N8 No Face. N8 No Face, Nothing Face. This bothered me now. This act bothered me because he just had a sound box, the mixing desk, a tiny little square mixing desk in the middle of the entire 3arena stage. And you know the way rap artists and hip hop, these are all hip hop and rap artists, by the way, and mumble rap and Xanax rap and all that stuff. Very strange selection of people to bring on a tour with a big and popular new metal, rap metal band like Limp Bizkit. But we'll get into that in a while. I'll keep the rant to a minimum. I want to keep it somewhat respectful. Yeah. So an eight no face. I ain't got no face comes on, and you know what? You think when you see the synth box and you see the mixing, but you know maybe he'll do a few scratches. Maybe he'll bring up and down the tones. He'll bring the tempo. Maybe maybe he'll do something interesting and worth watching. But you know what? Between songs, you would walk back up to the box and go, press fucking play, and dance around the stage like a jackass. And that instantly rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, yeah, well done for pressing play, you fucking jackass. He was an absolute shit sandwich, and I won't get any much more further into it. Completely out of place, completely ridiculous. And then the next song would come and he'd go and walk away from it. I'm like, no. That genre, hip hop, rap, that whole thing is littered with thousands of talented artists, and if done right, hip hop, rap, the whole bit is incredibly good. But this, no. So again, another dip. But you know what? We're keeping optimistic. The people around me were super fun. Having the crack with how poor some of these performances were. Some of us, we couldn't actually quite believe what we were hearing and seeing. And this announcer in between the songs, like I don't even know his name, but they had an MC in between the songs talking and attempting to be funny and joking. Let's just, you know what? An absolute misfire on every. I don't know whether his job was he was told to upset and annoy the crowd as much as he possibly could between shows and between acts, but I don't think that's the case. I think this was his something savage, hosted by something or other, hosting Loserville, and it was painful, and he genuinely was raising people's blood pressure in between bands, especially, not even bands, in between people. There's no bands here. And then we moved on to, anyway, enough about, we've 3 acts in and one of them were okay, Karen Dio. And so yeah, so far, not really good. Next up was Eka Vandal, and then at least we got some drums out on this one, and up tempo again. Crowd really not feeling it. I was up on the sitting, got a bird's eye view of literally the entire floor, which was absolutely rammed with people, by the way. And I looked up at the nosebleeds and all, and I'm telling you, this gig was 98.5% sold out. There is no doubt about it. Up to the very tippy top rafters of the 3arena, there were people sitting, and the floor was an absolute. There wasn't an inch of space in the entirety of the bottom level of the 3arena. And check out the links below of my footage of that. Very, very cool. I'd say it was a hoot down on that floor, really and truly. But Eka Vandal brought things up a little bit. I did a couple of videos. Enjoyable show. Enjoyable 20 minutes or so. And then we had Bones, which again, the Xanax mumble rap, like Little Peep and this kind of stuff. I mean, it isn't really for me. It's were people around enjoying it? Maybe people enjoyed Bones a little bit more, but this is I'm so whacked I can barely speak, and I have this simple little sample playing on loop in the background of every song, and every second word is bitch and fucking, yeah, all those other words that go with the genre. So again, okay, but really not for me. So out of the 5 support acts, ridiculous. Riff Raff, Karen Dio, yeah, nothing. 8 Face, Eva Vandal, Eka Vandal, yes, and Bones, no. So we had an up down experience for the support act, and we're there from 6 o'clock until 9:45, enduring these acts. I don't know what Limp Bizkit were thinking bringing. I know Limp Bizkit they consider themselves rap and hip hop, but rap metal, new metal. I mean, And maybe all these acts, because these acts are very small acts. I mean, their subscribers on YouTube could make like 5 million between all 5 of these bands, 5 of these acts, you know what I mean? Maybe they're super cheap. Maybe they get maybe they all get $1,000 a night. And Limp Bizkit head off with 80 or 90 grand. I don't know. I don't know what the mentality is, but I have to be honest. The support was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. And bringing me to the price of this gig, I won't say, what the price was if you were there. Absolutely, positively, for support like that, it's a real backhand in the face. And having that MC, that host, just absolutely crucifying the crowd between bands, it was painful. You honestly, he enraged you. And anyone there, drop a comment below. This host guy between things, it wasn't even so bad it was good. It was just, what are you doing? And he kept pretending to sulk, saying, I just want to be myself. Why won't you let me be myself? And he kept running off stage and then coming back. Maybe it was all part of the act, but you know what? Philbo was not laughing. So, coming up to 9:45 now, and we are dying for Limp Bizkit to hit the stage, because it has been a rough 3.5 hours of support acts. Absolutely dog rough. So as you can tell with this review, not impressed with the support acts whatsoever. I gave everybody a chance, gave everybody a watch, but when it was bad, I mean, it was bad. And it only reached the heights of watchable and okay and listenable. Very, very poor. So for the money that's paid for this gig, to get support like that is absolutely outrageous. So Limp Bizkit, are they going to be able to save this fucking shit show of support? Are they going to be able to bring it back? So Limp Bizkit throw out Break Stuff, Hot Dog, My Generation, to absolute brilliant effect. They absolutely get the crowd. I've never seen the floor, the lower level of the 3arena bounce with such fucking enthusiasm and joy and absolute fun. It was radiating off the building when they were throwing out these hits. And then they got into Nookie, and then they got into Boiler. And as the gig went on, I couldn't help but notice the Mirandering. The absolute Mirandering between the songs. I mean, they're 3.5 minute new metal tracks. I mean, like, if you look closely at what Wes Borland has to do on that guitar, as far as the riff goes, a fucking 4-year-old, if he was taken ill, God forbid, a 4-year-old could step in and do his riffs for the entire gig. Like, seriously, just watch them carefully. Sam Rivers, an incredible bass player. John Otto, class drummer. Everyone knows DJ Lethal. Bring it on from the House of Pain days. Class. But their biggest, and on a big stage like that, and paying big money to see it, they finished the 3.5 minute track, and then and it just goes on 5 minutes, 6 minutes. So, are you guys good? Yeah, and you're like, oh my God. And granted, he's building up a big break in the track and having the crowd, now I know why you want to hate me. Take a look around. Get up, my generation. The whole bit. But a high energy gig needs good pacing. It's like watching a fucking badass action film with tons of explosions, but all of us, it's just so slow. You're like, get to the next fucking scene, man. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying the adrenaline. I'm enjoying the thing. But everything was just slowed down to a fucking crawl in between the songs, and the fucking talking about Conor McGregor during the crowd and all fucked everybody off. I mean, God, Fred Durst. I mean, well, save your opinions. But from what I was hearing around me, people were saying, what is going on here? Compared to the Belfast gig, it was night and day, I was hearing. And the people were like enjoying the tracks, but I couldn't help but think, what? It was just, there was 12 songs. 12 songs in the set. 12! And they played for 1 hour and 15 minutes. 9:45 till 11. For the price of the ticket, 12 songs with just constant snippets of Slayer, snippets of Pantera, snippets of this, snippets of that. Just fucking filler. I mean, if they had to take it out all the crap in between, 12, the show would have been 36 minutes long, maybe 45 minutes long. 3.5 minute tracks, 4 minutes tracks times 12, 36, 40 minutes tops. But the absolute meandering, and there's no drum solos, no bass solos, no exhibitions of it's just, it's filler. There's too much filler in the show. The hits are great, they sound good, and it's a whole different world sitting watching Limp Bizkit to actually being on the floor and throwing down to Limp Bizkit and moshing and enjoying it. I'd say the two worlds are very, very far apart. But looking at it, musically, the riffs and all the tension in the world today, all the guitar is behind that, and then now I know, I mean, watching it and not throwing down and moshing, because Limp Bizkit are mosh music, they're party music, yeah. But sitting watching it, it's boring. It's hard to watch sitting, right? I saw Limp Bizkit back in 2010 in the Olympia. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was 2010 in the Olympia, and it was mad. All the fucking crowd came from the sitting area upstairs and fucking absolutely crushed the standing area, and everybody was like sardines in a can, and you couldn't move a bastard inch. And they played 16, 18 tracks, super heavy, great pacing, but this was just a big slowed down, just getting, it's hard to explain. Now the people on the floor, as you can see, I don't think they'll have any complaints with it. I mean, apart from having to stand for 3.5 hours during those support acts. But for me, and starting with break stuff and finishing with break stuff, starting and finishing a gig with the same song. I mean, who does that? I mean, do you know that song from Rocky? Rocky 4. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, there's no easy way out. There's no shortcut home. Now, if we went to see that guy live, we would want him to play that song 6 times during the show, because that's the reason he still tours, because of that song. But he doesn't. He plays it once. But Limp Bizkit, beginning and ending, and Limp and break. I know I'm talking about riff fucking quality when it comes to Limp Bizkit. I mean, just watching them play break stuff. I mean, it's sitting watching it sitting. It's fucking. It's boring. I will, if I ever see Limp Bizkit again, I will never ever sit down at Limp Bizkit, because they're just nothing to look at. Performance wise, they move around a little, but they don't. Remember, they used to throw down and fucking mosh and spin and the whole bit. But they're just, Fred Durst just kind of moseying around the stage. You know what? He's thinking, man, the money I'm making now, and I'm not even breaking a goddamn sweat, singing a song for 3 or 4 minutes, then just chatting and this, and it was over in the blink of an eye. It really was over in the blink of an eye. So, without going on and on and on, the highlights for me, of course there was highlights. I love My Generation. I love Nookie. I love Boiler. I love, what else did they do that I liked? Oh, Jesus Christ, what's the other track? Behind Blue Eyes is always great. But it was just, for the amount that it was. Now, I'm thinking of you, Jer, right? Because you covered this. If you had gone to this, Jer, I think you would have been mightily disappointed. Jer, my brother Jer is a massive Limp Bizkit fan. And for the support, and the fact that you only got 1 hour and 15 of Limp Bizkit, the fact you only got 12 songs, you got one deep cut with Boiler, and all the Miranda in between the songs just to fill the time. For the floor and the moshers, I'm sure They absolutely loved it and enjoyed it. And people were enjoying it around me. And I could tell there was a lot of first timers to Limp Bizkit around me. But the general feeling, even on the way home after the concert, is that the difference between that Belfast gig and this one was night and fucking day. And that the support acts, they're just, what in the name of Jesus? I mean, think about it. Wouldn't you think Limp Bizkit would be better suited to doing a big, massive European tour with like Kid Rock and Stained? How about that? You know, like in 1999, Woodstock in America, Stained, Kid Rock, Limp Bizkit, all that kind of thing. Back in the Family Values tour, 1999, that kind of stuff. Would you not, instead of bringing this absolute mediocre stuff, 5 support bands, given 20, maybe 20 minutes each, and an absolute MC in between the songs. So, bringing it all together. Let me know what you think down below. Drop a comment. Am I way off base? But the positives of this gig for me is the crowd. The people I was surrounded with in the seats I was in were absolute legends. Absolute, genuine, nice folks. Full of fun, full of crack. Easy to talk to. Accommodating, fun. Great, great, great. That was a massive plus. The crowd, everybody, the atmosphere, the people there to have a good time, the crack in the jacks waiting for people to finish taking their shits and all. It's just too fun, right? That whole part of it was great. Absolutely great. Another part that I really enjoyed was Limp Bizkit. In the grand scheme of things, it was a breath of fresh air seeing them come on and doing their thing. But it just, after the build-up of all these support acts and the build-up of 3.5 hours wait, I just don't think it paid off like I'd hoped. Now remember, this is my opinion, my review. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Am I way off? Am I on the ball? Just talk to me. That's the beauty of it. We're going to talk with respect and, you know, and just keep it polite in the comments. But let me know what you think. So what I basically think is, for the entire gig as a whole, price, too high. Far too high. Absolutely too high. Alright? For me, for the product you got, no. Atmosphere, brilliant. Great crowd of people, great set of fans, loads of youngsters going to their first gigs. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Major plus, the crowd. The beer in the 3arena is always shit. It's watered down, it's crap, and it's overpriced. So, but that's I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. Great seat, great view, great crowd down on the floor. Man, they were thrown down. I mean, I think at 1 second, that a couple of times there wasn't a single person not jumping 3 feet in the air at the same time. It was great to see, and it reminded me of the old mosh days and all. Super. It looked super fun, and I'd imagine someone who was on the floor's opinion of the gig would be very different than someone who was sitting down. So I accept that. That's fine. But for me, the gig was 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. Limp Bizkit did what Limp Bizkit do. Great crowd, great fun, great atmosphere. But it was just above average. It was just, I was Mirandering at 5 out of 10. But I think it was just over the mark where you're like, you know what? Good night, good fun, good memories. I got some good footage. Got to see everyone moshing down on the floor. It's always good to see everybody throwing down. It's great. So 6 out of 10 for me on Limp Bizkit on Loserville 2025. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. It was great having the crack with all of you last night in the 3arena. I told a couple of you about my channel and all. On the Lewis and all, and on the train up and from the thing. It was great. Really good fun. Tuesday night in Dublin City felt like a Saturday night, so that's always a good thing. And the good old Witherspoon's points were flowing very, very nicely. Oh, chicken wings, oh, chicken wings. Chicken wings and pints of Stella makes Philbo a happy fella. Oh, hashtag Witherspoons. Not sponsored by Witherspoons. Thanks for stopping by. And next up, tomorrow night, Raging fucking Speedhorn are playing the Grand Social in Dublin. Tomorrow night, Raging Speedhorn, Kill the Lights, me, wifey, we're going and shit's gonna get fucking wild. Absolutely fucking wild. And Raging Speedhorn are playing the Voodoo Belfast tonight. So get your ass to that. Tickets available on the door. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. And welcome to Philbo's. And Philbo's in the house, y'all. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay cool.